like to call the meeting to order. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, adequate notice of this regular meeting of the Board of Adjustment of the Township of Franklin has been provided. Board members, applicant, professionals, and members of the public, please speak directly into microphones so our recording secretary can properly process minutes. Applicants and professionals, please fill out the sheet on the table when you have completed your testimony. And thank you. Would you call the roll, please?
Cheryl Bethia. Here. Richard Prokanic.
Here.
Joe Reese has to be excused. Alan Rich.
Here.
Gary Rosenthal.
Here.
Robert Shepard.
Here.
Vasim Verdas.
Here.
Faraz Khan. Michael Doherty.
Here.
And Robert Thomas.
Here. And before we move on to the minutes, I want to welcome our new member, Mike Doherty. If you get a chance, introduce yourself, say hello to him. We still could use another member, so let's not give up looking for another person. We'll hope he has a positive experience like the rest of us. Minutes, I guess there are none. Resolutions, discussion, hearings, we're going to reverse the order this evening. Dawn Genho, ZBA 22-00022, C variance requested for rear yard setback 128 Grouser Road, Somerset, block 73.01, lot 1.15 in the CP zone.
So, Mr. Chairman, I think, as usual for a homeowner application, I'll give a brief summary of the application. This is a variance for a residential deck. The property is it's a 1 acre property in the canal preservation zone. The required setback is, due to the nature of the zone, the required setback is 150 feet. And the setback for the deck is 87 feet. TRC provided you a report. I basically authored it and indicated in there that I think this is a C1, a hardship situation where the property is approximately 1 acre in size, where the CP zone is 6 acres is the minimum lot area. And when you have a zone like that of 6 acres, the required setbacks are commensurate with the extremely large size of the property. This property, as well as a few others in that stretch of Grouser, are much smaller than what the zone requires. So when you apply those much larger setbacks to this property, frankly, they can't build anything to comply. It's just a much smaller property with much larger setbacks in that canal preservation zone. And on the negative side, negative criteria, I would point the board to the picture on the back, the survey that was on record, and also the aerial photo that's on the second page of the TRC report, where it shows the relative location of the deck on the back of the house. Again, 87 feet from the rear property line, which I think is still a significant distance, and the nature of the property behind the subject site, which is forested. So I would opine that really nobody's being impacted by this variance.
Okay, first let's swear in.
Good evening. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Is what Mr. Healy said basically what your testimony is?
Yes, it is.
If anything you want to add to it?
We had originally had the deck built and put on the house a little over 5 years ago, and the contractor was supposed to take care of all the permits and stuff. We had no idea he didn't do it until we went to sell the house. We thought it was taken care of properly, and he is since deceased. So tried to backtrack and find out why it wasn't done, but that's the wall I ran into when I tried to get it straightened out.
You are not the first to have this happen.
I'm willing to speculate. There are no neighbors here, but just to be sure, we'll open to the public. Anyone want to speak about this application or ask any questions? None's coming forward. We'll close. Any board questions? Any motions?
Yes, just as a matter of curiosity, what are the tube-like things on this picture, are these greenhouses?
That's on the adjoining property, there must be greenhouses.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was the neighbor to us was the partner of our house. They were partners, and they owned all that land, and they have greenhouses in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? A motion?
I move that we grant John Ho a C variance to allow a shorter setback in the rear yard at 128 Grouser Road, Somerset, Block 73.01, Lot 1.15, in Zone CP.
Second. Carol Bethia? Yes. Richard Prokanic?
Yes.
Alan Rich? Gary Rosenthal?
Yes.
Robert Shepherd?
Yes.
Wasim Verdas?
Yes.
And Chairman Thomas.
Yes, okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Good to go. Next application.
That was easy.
Gennaro Costabile, ZBA 22-00020, applicant seeking a D variance to return a previous allowed business to convert back into a residence, 4587 Route 27, Kingston, Block 3, Lot 16.01 in the NB zone. Okay.
Good evening. This is John DeLuca, attorney for the applicant of the firm Boris Golden Foley, Vignola, Hyman, and Stahl. I only have one witness to present tonight. That's the owner and applicant, Gennaro Costabile. And as the chairman pointed out, that we're seeking a D variance to revert the primary structure on the property back to a residential use. It was zoned, and it's located in the neighborhood business zone, which does not permit single-family use. And it was previously used, well, I'll let my applicant get into that as he's the fact witness. So would you please swear him in?
Good evening, sir. Do you swear to tell the... Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
You state your name, please, and your address.
My name is Gennaro Costabile, 4587 Route 27, Kingston, New Jersey, 08528.
You live in there now?
Yes, sir.
That's important information. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Costabile. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of this property, starting from when you purchased it to today?
The property, I purchased the property back in 2016, went through various application and permits. Were allowed to utilize the structure as a restaurant to accommodate dining. And so that was approved then. Once COVID hit, and only a year after, this application was granted, we were operating as a restaurant there. COVID hit, and we had to stop the operation, as you well know. So for the last 2 years, I've been trying to rent the structure to a business, such as an attorney's office or accounting. Unfortunately, I was unsuccessful, so the structure's been there empty. And so I thought of converting back into a residence and moving in myself as owner-occupied.
What kind of restaurant did you have there?
Italian restaurant.
Italian?
Italian, yes. Well, the deli is still there. The deli market is still there, and it's operating with limited seating capacity inside of the deli. The restaurant, dining room, that was created in the house, again, that was shut down.
And Janelle, let me ask you,
Yes.
in connection with this proposal to convert it to a single-family use, are there any exterior changes?
No
to
exterior
the
changes.
No exterior changes. And in terms of interior renovation, do you intend to move any walls or any major?
No more, no walls, no.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the board received a 2018 site plan, which obviously is unchanged in connection with this application. and also architectural plans showing the minor interior renovations. Just to clarify for the board, can you please indicate exactly where this property is situated in terms of the cross streets?
4587 located on Route 27, and the cross street is Laurel Avenue.
Okay. And how about ingress and egress off of the site, specifically the driveway?
Ingress is from Route 27, egress is from Laurel Avenue.
I have no further questions for my fact witness unless the board would like to ask some questions.
I have some questions.
Sure.
The part of this that I'm struggling with a little bit is it talks about there's also a 4-unit building on this site?
Yes, sir.
And where is it attached to the restaurant building?
No, sir, that's on the 6 Laurel Avenue, that's on the other side of the parking lot.
If you could elaborate, could you just state exactly how many structures are on the site total?
Well, before it was 3, now there's 2, because 2 were combined. So the structure on Laurel Avenue is a freestanding building with 4 apartments.
Okay, is that the building that's next to the house that was renovated, completely torn, gutted, and rebuilt? So it's the one that's next to that?
Yes, sir.
No, I think it's this is the structure he's talking about.
Right, there is a house here that on 10 Laurel Avenue that was remodeled, and this building is next to it, yes.
My apologies.
Okay, so then that's why you say that the egress is onto Laurel Avenue, is because that building is set back, and really, when you come out of that building, you walk into the parking lot, and you can go out Laurel Avenue if you want.
That's correct.
Okay, so then, this application has nothing to do with that one building. It has everything to do with the building that housed the restaurant.
That's correct, there is nothing to do with that.
Okay, and you're living in the building that housed the restaurant?
Correct.
Is it a one-story building?
The building is 2-story building.
Okay, are you living on the second floor or on the
Second
first?
floor, sir.
You're living on the and you want to make it possible to live on the first floor as well?
Yes, sir.
So that means you're going to have to do some serious renovations on the first floor to make that happen?
No, the first floor just will house the kitchen area, and the bedrooms are upstairs, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, just the bedrooms are upstairs. It's a two-floor single home.
okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
And the first floor on a single home was used as the dining area.
And in the front of it, the part that's the deli, that used to be the living room?
Gennaro, if you could explain the adjacent structures with the deli and the residence that you're intending to.
May I approach? So-
Why not?
Okay. So this is the deli area,
Yeah, right,
and this is the house
Right.
with 2 floors. I'm sorry. Okay.
Right.
This is the house with 2 floors.
right.
Okay, so this is the structure I will be living in.
That is the structure?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
well done.
The deli
Yep.
stays the way it is.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, that was the thing I was having trouble with.
Now, when this was converted before,
So this is
when this was turned
this is
into
the
a
house.
restaurant, there were some,
This is the deli. Okay. So the
I
house
believe,
was
some
used
site
as a
changes.
Time out. We can't have cross conversations here.
Okay. Okay, we okay then now? Well, there were some site plan changes when you originally converted it. Are they going to stay the same?
Yes, sir.
Like
There's nothing changed with the
A
site
little bit
plan.
of a parking lot in the back, I
Yes.
think, and the
Nothing changed.
driveway is still going to stay the same? and-
Same thing.
Okay.
No changes outside whatsoever.
And I assume that you probably use some of the parking in the back for the deli?
Oh, yes. The parking in the back is used for the deli and for the apartment building.
Okay, these are two separate properties? Or one?
It's one property, all one property.
Okay.
Yeah. The parking lot has 22 spaces, and some is allocated for the apartments, and the rest is for the deli.
So if we use the site, the parking on the site, the parking is on one property? It's
Correct,
not
yes, sir.
on one house and also on a separate deli?
Right.
So it's all, okay.
Counselor, can we mark the photograph of the structure as an exhibit?
Certainly. So this, I guess, would be A1? Mark it in.
Okay. And the other one too?
Sure. And A2, A1 and A2.
Anybody else on the board?
Yes, I have a couple of questions myself.
Yes, sir.
I drove by there, and I could have swore that they are attached, the buildings are attached. There's like
They
a
are.
breezeway across there or something, but it looked like they were both attached.
Right, the two buildings were separated at first, and then we were allowed, to unify the two buildings. And so we built a ramp that connected the two buildings, so the kitchen was able to serve the dining room created in the house. Now that that ramp is no longer used to access that, it's just going to be used as storage.
How big
Yes,
is,
the two buildings are attached, yes.
okay, how big is it?
Sorry?
How big is the addition, or the walkway?
How big? I would say probably 500 square feet.
Yeah.
In between, yes. I don't know exactly, I don't remember exactly the numbers. Forgive me if I don't.
So would that classify this as being two buildings or one if they're attached?
The buildings are, they're attached through like a breezeway?
It's a ramp, yeah, because the two,
Yeah.
yeah. Before it was in between two buildings, there was nothing.
Yeah, I'm not sure, I get the question, I'm not, I don't know, in my mind, I'm not sure that matters. I mean, their proposal is for whether it's a separate building or the right half of one building, I'm not sure it really matters. I mean, they're proposing to convert a portion of this, actually, I have a follow-up question, but all or a portion of this building from commercial use back to residential. Whether it's one building or two, I'm not sure that really, in my mind, I'm not sure it matters.
Well, that would be a mixed use, right, that we're asking?
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I'm confused about, and I think maybe, let me ask you two questions. The
Yes.
first question is, currently, right now, what's on the first floor, what's on the second floor?
I'm sorry, currently,
What is on the first floor, and what is on the second
on
floor?
the first floor is just an empty room right now.
But it's set up as a dining room,
It was set up as a dining room for the restaurant.
okay? And that's
So,
what your
tables
original,
and chairs.
and that's what your approval was back in 2016?
Correct.
Okay.
I remember that.
And the second floor is what?
Right now, it's just an office.
It's an office right now?
Yes.
Okay,
Office space.
okay. So, right now, first floor restaurant, second floor office.
Right.
And you want to, you're asking the board to convert both floors into a residence?
Right, creating the bedrooms. There were, originally the house was bedrooms upstairs, and the lady that owned the house was an attorney, so she operated her business downstairs and lived upstairs.
Okay, so what would be on the first floor?
Just a living room and a kitchen.
So what you're proposing then is to convert what had been a single-family house, I believe, at one point,
It was,
back into a single-family home?
correct.
With basically the living space, the living room and kitchen, et cetera, on the first floor, and bedrooms on the second floor?
Correct.
Okay. I was a little confused at some
Yeah.
point.
Engineer, if I could just ask a clarifying question, the portion of that structure that's connected through the hallway that's currently being used as a single full
Just a
story.
storage, yeah, for the
Okay.
restaurant.
And what about the deli? Will the deli continue to operate next door?
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
All right.
So you're not changing any of the structures
No.
of the?
No.
You'd probably need certain permits, I would think, but that's really between him and the construction department if he needs to move walls or whatever to turn it back into what's now a dining room.
Yeah, the dining room is not going, no structure will be altered, no walls will be moved, nothing,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I would suggest that even if some walls were being removed, I mean, the board, I think now understands what they're doing is making this portion of the building or this building a single-family residential. Whether he needs to get permits from the construction department, again, that's between him and the construction department. He'll need to do that correctly.
And I would also just direct the board to take a look at the images that I provided to the board attorney and entered it as exhibits. I think they clarify a little bit that there's a deli on one side and then a hallway that connects it to what we are turning back into a single-family house with a living room, dining room, kitchen on the first floor, and then bedrooms on the second floor. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And is anyone currently living in that space?
I'm sorry?
Is anyone currently living in the space?
Not yet, no, I mean, I say I was living in there, but not yet, no.
Okay.
When I say I'm already projecting myself living there, now me as a owner-occupied, I can also take care of my property there and taking care of day-to-day operation, if you will.
So I'm just curious,
Yes.
so on the first floor,
Yes.
it's just one, I'm trying to visualize this, it's just one big room that was the dining room?
No, there is three different rooms there. There's a door entrance, there's a bathroom to the right, and then there was a bathroom that was added because it was a men's room and a ladies' room because it was a restaurant. So I'm planning to eliminate one bathroom and just make that as a storage. And then there is a small area, which I would say it's about 300 square feet, maybe 250. That's where I'm planning to put a kitchen. And in the middle room, there is a basement, and then there is another room at the other end of the house. So altogether, there's 3 rooms downstairs.
Now, did I hear you say 2 bathrooms, a men's?
There's 2 bathrooms right now.
So when you have to, you're not going to move out any of the plumbing or change any of that?
No.
or-
Just not using a bathroom as a bathroom anymore. Because it was a restaurant and we added another bathroom to create a ladies' room and a men's room. Originally was just 1 bathroom. Then we added 1, 2. So when all the expense and all the, we finally opened the restaurant, and then the pandemic hit, and so.
I'll also note that as part of the application, the applicant did provide the plans that we're looking at right now, and they do appear on the zoning board's website in connection with the application. And this is the first floor plan, second floor plan architecturals that were prepared for this application. They demonstrate exactly what my client indicated. If you want to walk through a little bit just do the first floor and the second floor.
We provided all the.
We did provide this.
We provided all this, right?
We could mark this as Exhibit A3, if that's acceptable.
Noted.
Okay. So, what do you want me to do with the, okay, so the, let's see, this is the front.
No, this is the front right here.
It's the front, okay. So there is an existing porch. It's from the front, yes. Okay. And there is a living space, and to the left, you'll see a staircase that goes up to the second floor. There is a wall separating the 2 rooms, and there is a dining room indicated. The first one is a living room, then a dining room, and then a kitchen area, and the storage. And then we have an exit to the rear of the building where the parking lot is.
And then for the second floor,
The second floor, there are bedrooms that they've been there since I bought the building. Some of them were used for storage, some of them were, and one of them was used for an office.
okay, and this is all what's existing currently, correct?
Yes.
And none of it you intend to change?
No, no.
Okay, anything else?
Just a question, do we need to hear planning testimony since it's a D variance?
I mean, that's up to the board. I could offer a thought or two if that's sufficient for the board, and then,
Is if the property is not, if you can't rent the property in its current commercial configuration, I guess, would that be a hardship? I would think it would.
I would think that this is more, the justification, I think, is more on the other side of particular suitability, because normally the board, to approve a residential use in a commercial zone, you would be very hesitant to approve that. But I think the unique situation of this lot, the fact that this has historically been a house, as recently as 7 years ago, was a house, and converting it back to a single-family home, I think that speaks to particular suitability compared to probably most other commercially zoned lots in the township. I think this is probably very unique in that regard. So I would suggest that you might find that this is, you could grant the variance due to particular suitability.
Also, Gennaro, you did mention that right now, as the property is vacant and you intend to occupy it, assuming this variance is granted, what ability does that give you as the property owner to monitor what's going on inside the property?
Being on site will give me the ability of taking care of any issues that I would have with the building as a homeowner and as a landlord.
Anybody have anything else? Again, we'll open to the non-public tonight, I guess. If anyone has a question or a comment. Nothing, we'll close. Any board comments, thoughts, or motions?
I'll make a motion. I move that we grant Gennaro Costabile a D variance to allow him to return his currently allowed commercial business to a residential home at 4587 Route 27, Kingston, Block 3, Lot 16.01, in the Zone NB.
We need a second?
A second.
Cheryl,
Go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to speak?
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh my God. Richard, second. Okay, Cheryl Bethia,
Yes.
Richard Prokranik,
Yes.
Alan Rich,
Yes.
Gary Rosenthal,
A little confusing to me, but yes.
Robert Shepard,
Yes.
Vasim Verdas,
Yes.
and Chairman Thomas.
Yes, I'm sorry that we're losing it as a restaurant, though. I was there once. It was a good experience, but good luck with it.
Thank you very much, Board.
Well, you can still enjoy some meals because the chef is still on site there in the deli area, so there's seatings there, so we're still serving dinner there.
Good to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Any other
everybody.
business, and we'll ask for a motion to adjourn. And a second?
I move that we adjourn, a second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Everybody have a happy holiday.